So until now we've seen several functions in R. We've seen filter and we've seen select. These are the two basic functions in R. A more interesting function is the mutate function. Mutate, let's see, look at mutate. Mutate is a function that adds a new variable to a data frame based on a calculation you give it. So, for example, if we take the departure delay, we could, for example, say data mutate abs delay, as in the absolute change of the schedule with the departure delay, as the absolute value of departure delay. Yeah. This function, this is any field. You can, what you here have is a field name. A field name, any field name you choose. Don't use spaces. So this will obviously give an error. This is correct. Yeah. Any field name you can give it.
Ja. Ik wist even wat je met de spaces bedoelt. Je zegt use no spaces en als je wel space dan gebruik je die underscore.
Yeah, instead of spaces use underscores. Because spaces, for example, if you run this kind of code with a space in it, it will search for this part for depth. It doesn't recognize space. So never use spaces in field names. So this simple field function makes a new field, any field name, any name you give it, and uses the function here of departure delay to calculate this.
But you add it to the table and not to the data.
And this indeed, I now don't save this result to the data frame, but if I simply say data is data, and I run this, and here's any field name is to, it was -1, this is 1, this is -6, here's 6. Yeah? I take the data set, I run this function, and I give the result back to the data. So I've overwritten the data. This is what we use when we do hashing.
You actually add the new
But I overwrite the variable.
You overwrite it with all, but the difference between the old data and new data is the extra.
Yeah.
You overwrite the old.
Can you also remove a variable
No.
mutate?
No.
No,
Only add one.
they're still there.
The addition is based
You
on.
add a new
I add a new field based on this calculation. This is a result, this. But if I don't use this part, I don't assign the result back to a variable. So I don't simply see here the whole field,
Yeah, but
which isn't interesting.
that underscore delay remains unchanged. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't change the inputs, you only change the output.
And then if you would want to remove the depth delay, then you would do it with select and save that back
Yeah.
to
Indeed.
Select
Or you can use transmute function, and it rechanges a field. Instead of mutate, transmute. Yeah? Vragen? So, let's see. Yeah, then do some calculations. So we can, for example, say the if we take the departure time and the arrival time, subtract it, and take this time and divide it over the distance, we have the time, the speed in the air. The average speed in the air over the whole flight. Yeah. We don't take into account time zone, but let's simply do this. So,
Another question,
yeah.
different question about the data set. We're guessing now that this is in miles. And is there any place where we can get the metadata that tells us what the...
Yeah, there is. Of course.
Are you going to tell us where to find that, or?
Or is it
You want to know?
No, I don't know. If it's a long question, never
No,
mind.
it's very simple.
In R.
It's in R, but it's even simpler. So this is your package overview, yeah? And the package was New York City flights. If I now click here, I get the documentation of the New York City flights database. And there comes the thing. So, for example, description file. This is who made it, and this is the airlines information. And here you see, so this is uses airlines. So here you see the simple documentation of the package within RStudio. What you also can do is go to the CRAN website. So cran.rproject.org. So put it into the notes. This is the place where this is the app store of RStudio. Yeah. Here, if you go to the CRAN file, you can see here. No, this is the packages, and now you can here see the table of all packages sorted by name. Okay, nice to know, sort of a publication. This is, let's see how many packages we've got today. How about a community? This is only today, new packages.
Or update.
Or updated indeed.
And is this stuff that when we have data packages that we can also...
Yeah. Think by install package, ZOIP.
No, but I mean, if we create data sets, can we actually...
Yeah, you can upload it as well. Yeah, so you might
Take in mind.
we might upload the whole chief database as a package.
I think you're in already. No, you always have to issues of
Yeah. But is there somewhere also in the data camp some guidance on how to create documentation of our own data sets when we create data sets?
Yeah, but it's not part of my course. But it's very easy because there's an option in R that allows you to, where is it? No, it's an extra option here to create a package from your script. We within our research group created a package as well. Yeah.
We share it only with the research group.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can come and talk to you at some other time.
Yeah. But it's very very nice because if you send there are several known packages that contain data sets. So it's the Laman database. It's a great data set. It contains all baseball actions on any baseball field from 1882 up till last month. So all wides, all hits, all bats, all, and continuously added. So you can do, and this is one of the assignments in the minor, to do an analysis on the development of the baseball game. But if you look at New York City flights, no, this is it. You click on it, you get the information, and then there's the PDF file, reference manual, PDF. You click on the reference manual, and it will open the reference manual, and this contains all information, where it comes from, who made it, open flights, was it downloaded, where's the source, where's the description. All packages have a PDF file on CRAN with all information. Yeah? So, back to the mutate function. If you use transmute, let's first look it up. Transmute, you see it here. Mutate adds a new variable and preserves existing. Transmute drops existing variables. So, and if you hit down, 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 and here's the transmute function. This only keeps the variable you create. So this one I create, and this one it will delete. Yeah?
You can achieve the same with select, right?
Yeah. And by select, note that you can also, let's say I want to select, I don't want to select the day, the minus sign, you don't select, and you say, okay, I don't want to see it. So removing, so this is, if I want to remove this any field name, I simply do select minus any field name, and I remove the result doesn't contain the any field name. Yeah? Clear? Nee? Dus alles behalve any field name. Dus als je dit laat, dan zul je zien dat data 2 does not contain, this was 20 variables, this is 19. Yeah? Okay, can we do more calculations? Yeah, you can do all kinds of calculations with mutate. So let's see. Let's do one more example. Any example? If we do the,
maybe we can do something with a specific airplane carrier.
Yeah, we can combine. Let's say data. Take filter carrier. Carrier is UA. Then let's say we one more thing. If you end with a pipe, it uses the next statement as a new row. So you can for readability end any row with a pipe and then continue writing. Let's say we want to mutate the total difference per flight from the schedule. So the total deviation is the absolute difference between depth time minus scheduled depth time plus the absolute difference between arrival time and scheduled arrival. Note that if you, as you can see here, if I select this, if you stand your cursor put your cursor nearby and a bracket, it will show you which bracket is closed. Yeah. This one is closes this one closes that one. So there's something wrong here. But it does not. I want to do this within brackets as well, just for readability. We might get an error because of the NAs, but let's see. Let's look at what happens. Yep. Let's see. No, only warnings. Warnings are good. Yeah, warnings are never a problem. So I got here I have this. I put it into temp. I got 21 variables. If I open this one, you will here see the total deviation. Here is a new column for only the carrier UA, and I see here the total deviation of this carrier. This is a data set containing all flights of this carrier and calculates the total deviation.
En de kolom is toegevoegd door het programma.
Yeah. So we added the column, we mutated the columns, and if we now only want to see, now we all have all columns. Let's say we only want to see the relevant columns. In this case, select carrier carrier. I'm looking there and I'm writing here. So it's kind of, and I want to select this part. So carrier depth time, scheduled depth time, comma R time, scheduled R time, and new field total deviation. Did I close it? Yeah, I close it. If we now run this, we get 6 variables, 60,000 observations, only with the relevant elements. I'll share this code on the code sharing. And I assign it to a temporary field.
With this mutate, you can also join text or strings from different columns, right? Is there also a way of separating?
Yeah, let's park this one for down, because it's not part of it's part of the tidy data frame. So it's like the melt and gather there. It's part of that package. Okay, so up to now we can let's imagine that what we want to do is for each carrier in the data set, we want to know the mean absolute deviation from the departures. Yeah, so this is the total deviation. What we now can do, of course, for our data set, temp, you can say temp $, total deviation, and you can say, okay, what's the mean? What's the mean given na.rm is true? So the mean deviation from the schedule based on the absolute value of departure and delay difference is 180 minutes. This United Airlines is large.
Yeah, it's large.
I don't know. I'm not a domain-specific knowledge expert. Yeah, this is. But now let's imagine we want to do it for all carriers. Well, that's very easy in R. It's extremely easy with dplyr.
You do group by carrier.
Yeah.
And summarize.
So,
The standard deviation per carrier.
standard, yeah.
This is only for you.
This is for UA. So we could do it UA and then select.
And you only frame already.
You could then select B6 and do the calculation again, do the mean. That would take a lot of time. What we could do is we can now we come to group by and summarize. And these are very helpful commands. So in our data set, with our research, we get charging data from electric vehicles, and we create key performance indicators, and we group them. So for each city, we want to know the mean session time, the mean occupation, and whatever. So in Nederlands zou je zeggen: doe mij het gemiddelde per carrier of per vliegtuig. En zodra je in het Nederlands het woord per gebruikt, weet je dat je met group by bezig bent. Yeah, in English, it's per. Yeah. So as soon as you want to know something per anything else, you use the group by function. So let's play around with it. Let's simply play around with it. Let's imagine we do the data, and we want to group them by carrier. As soon as you use group by, this is kind of a begin clause. It's splitting up the data set in memory. If you don't do anything else, yeah, you get just get a split data set. You want to calculate something. So next thing is you do summarize. So you group something by, and yet I might do some calculations, and then in the end you always summarize. So for example, summarize, and then you may do in the summarize function, you use the same factor functions as you normally use on a factor. So the sum, the mean, standard deviation, whatever. Yeah. So we can say, give me the total delay in a year, for example. A group by carrier, which is the sum, of course, the sum of the, let's say, dep delay. Of course, na.rm is true, because otherwise you don't get the you get errors in NAs. So what we do now is give me the data set, group by carrier. So take all carriers as separate groups and create summarized statistics, namely the total departure delay is the sum of all delays in the dataset of this carrier and remove the non-availables. If I run this code in the console, you will see the following. So get a table. And you got a carrier 9E, total delay of this, carrier this is total delay of this. Yeah, so you get the total delay in all records based on the sum of all delays. Now you may say, yeah, but what if one carrier has more delays and more flights than the other? Then you probably also have more delays. Yeah. So what we can do is we can say, okay, yeah, but this is not the best. Let's say we do the mean delay. Is the mean. Let's copy this one. Let's take the mean. you can put here a comma, and then the mean. Now, let's run it. And you get the mean. Oh, dat kan. Laat hem gewoon even, ik laat hem gewoon even lekker zien. Now, maybe interesting to see whether if the mean delay is high, whether the number of flights is high as well. Now, in dplyr, counting the number of items in a group is a special function. And it's a simple function. Let's say number flights, and it's very simple. It's n bracket open bracket close. So let's see, what will we get if we run this? I'm going to copy this to the environment. So we now have, let's put it into a temp. So we get 16 observations, the carriers, with the mean delay and the number of flights. Yeah. So there's a new data frame created. I simply stored it to the variable. Per carrier, the total delay, the mean delay, the number of flights. Of course, this times this is this. Mean times the total number is the total delay. What we can now, for instance, do is make a plot and see whether there's a correlation between the number of flights and the mean delay. Are large carriers better in coping with delay than smaller ones?
Small question, really.
Yeah.
So with the summarise function, it's also possible to add columns without to mutate. That's good.
I create a whole new data frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's instead of mutate, but I summarize over a group.
Yeah, okay, but you also create new columns.
Yeah.
No, you create values in the summary, but you don't create a new vector in the.
No. Because previously we had how many records? 300,000 records, and now we only have 16 records. So we push down per group thing we group, we push down all things and do summary statistics on each group. So you get a new data frame.
So you only add columns to the aggregated observations.
Yeah.
Well, would it be advisable rather than making a column with the same
You can't,
function?
but you cannot make, if I do, so here we did total delay. But you do the total delay per something.
You can't do a mean per observation.
Because if you do a mean per observation, it's only one observation.
But you can do a mean, of course, of
Two values. What you can also do is,
if you have a wide tape.
yeah, given that you. So we can do it carrier, but you can also use more variables in the group by. Let's say per carrier, per
Origin.
Yeah, where's the origin?
Airplane numbers.
Origin,
yeah.
because there's 3 airports in.
Yeah. So now we got per carrier, per origin, the mean delay. Now we can see, is there a difference between, a significant difference between the airport and the delay, or is it more due to the carrier, or is it due to the airport? So you can now say, okay, but is there a you can condition the delay on the airport. If this is conditionally dependent, then this is not the same as the delay given carrier, or even is not the same as P delay given carrier and airport. What's the probability of having a delay of a value of a delay given the carrier? Is it the same as the delay given the carrier and the airport? Is it a difference? Yeah? Nou, hier is die JFK 19. Hier is die JFK 19 versus 6 versus 9. Here's no significance. We can further see this with the ggplot package. So, summarize with group by allows you to do more group wise calculations. We can now plot this, for example. Let's make a simple plot. Plot TMP $, number of flights versus TMP and mean delay. Yeah. This is the number of flights versus the mean delay. Question is, do we see a correlation?
That's where we have all.
You could do a linear function, of course. I guess not. There's no direct correlation, not a significant correlation between the number of flights and the mean delay. Yeah. What we could do indeed is to draw a linear model, LM, and ask R to do a linear model based on these two variables and give me the R squared value, which is the value of how predictable one variable is to relate to the other. But let's not do this right now. Okay. Do we need more examples for group by?
I was trying to figure out how to relate this sort of I'm an Excel pivot table person.
Not anymore.
Group by sort of is the rows and the columns, what you put in the rows and columns?
Yeah, the rows.
The rows, but if you have two, you can group by two things.
You can,
right?
you get two rows.
It's insert summaries.
Sorry?
Insert summaries. Group by. It's insert summaries.
If you then summarize it,
Yeah.
or also any function.
What? Yeah. So,
No, the plot.
de plot. Oh nee, ga dat doen. Nee, doe.
Yeah, I have a different. I'm not sure one.
So, my question for you is, can you give me the code to for all flights that have a departure delay, give me the mean departure delay per destination.
For all flights or per carrier?
For flight, so I'll put it into for all flights with a departure delay, show the mean delay per destination.
want the absolute delay, absolute departure delay, or you want the mean delay and minus and positive delays to cancel each other out.
Yeah. Be sure that the negative and positive delays do not cancel out. Let's give it a try.
Can't we just ignore the, I mean, it's not a delay if you leave too early, right?
This is where data science meets practice. This is okay. How to operationalize this question? And it could be that that's what we do in our day.
We have delete.
We have gedelete.
Oh my god, wat gebeurt er? Shit. Ik heb ons net werk niet. Ja, ik heb net al gekopieerd. Zal ik alles Zal ik alles terug? Het is weg. There we go. Geen probleem, ik denk van het moet even. Deze andere was daar.
So what I always say in our data science course with the students is, as long as you give arguments for how to operationalize your question, I can give points in your grade. As long as you give arguments for how you did the calculation, then I'm able to give you points for your grade. So you can indeed say that each deviation from whatever it is, you fill in. It's your